Monday night is sparring night at Dallas School of Historical Fencing, and here I'm fencing Liam with dueling sabers. Saber's probably my best weapon. I've been doing it the longest. I really enjoy it. So take a gander. So I've done some slow-mo so you can see some of the touches in a little bit greater detail. Not all of them because it would have taken a whole long time. So enjoy the ones I do. I would have done more, but it's a lot of work. So I've kind of made it my new goal to post a lot of fencing footage because there's just not enough stuff out there on the internet for these weapons. There are a lot of videos about swords on the internet, but there aren't that many videos of people actually using swords with gear on, you know, really trying to get each other. Now don't get me wrong, there's some great people who are posting sparring footage, but unfortunately their channels aren't super popular because, you know, people seem to think this is boring for some reason. So I want to post more of it because I think it's important for people to understand how these things were used, not just from a conceptual standpoint, but from, you know, actually seeing the weapons being used against a non-compliant opponent, basically practicing what I preach. So get ready for a lot more sparring footage because I got a lot of it.
Yeah, you got me too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yes, being covered. Yeah, you got it. You ducked just in time. Woo!
Yeah. I feel like the only way the audio was like.
Kind of both the same kind of sliding thing. So, did you get point or was it kind of?
Do that, but it was sort of like made you to get and play.
I didn't get the cover though. Yeah. So it's fun, dude.
Okay, so this is actually a hilarious Rapier bout because Clark doesn't fence Rapier like most Rapierists. He basically fences Saber. So I try to go up against him in Rapier, and he's got this monster Rapier that's like 4 inches longer than mine. And I'm trying to do Rapier on him, and he's just whapping me with Saber techniques. I'm not good enough a Rapier to counter him, like good Rapier versus this. So at some point in this bout, I basically be like, no, screw it, I'm gonna fight you, Saber, and then I basically just do Saber for a second bout. Mind you, this isn't me saying Clark's bad at Rapier. This is just saying that it's a very unorthodox style compared to everything else I've seen. So I had to basically default back to Saber, which is my main, and then the bout went better for me, better than it was going at least.
You slid off me. So it's kind of like a missed slide catch. Okay.
And here's where the switch happens.
We're tired of making.
So if you're ever confused about what happens, listen to the noises. You hear the dull thud as opposed to the high-pitched metallic cling. You can usually tell that you've struck either jacket or gauntlet or something else. And it's a great way to tell as a spectator what's going on in a bout if you can't see how fast the blade is moving.
Y'all have thrown more cuts in the last 3 exchanges than most Rapier tournaments combined.
That was the worst exchange I've done in a long time. You went through this. Through the guard. Probably maybe? Yeah.
That was hot.
That was maybe. I think you got the parry in time though. Huh? I think that catch was good because it was like strong. Yeah, it still would have hurt. Yeah. I would have been bleeding. You haven't let me. Huh? Gerardo won.
Immediately gets bodied.
Sword pitching time. You skimmed off my guard, past this, off to the sides, and raised up. I felt that it could be that hard with something. It was interesting. Yeah. You slipped through, kind of between my shoulders. Yeah, I think you caught right past the thing to the arm off. Okay. So it's nothing on either of this. A double miss. Yeah. Yeah. You put it there and held it. You cut my offhand on the way out. Yeah. It came off. One more. You're worried about anything. He's right. You're gonna have to do an advantage. This is still advantage. That's right. Yeah. There's the draw. I was trying to get it all the time. What?
So we found this super light fetter on the wall. It's super short and super thin, and it moves like crazy. It's basically cheating.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Alright, I'll have to try it next.
Huh? Oh, God. Oh. It's a good idea. Yeah. Wrapped.
So I don't actually use a fetter. I use what's called a blunt. It doesn't have a shield. It's got a fairly big taper, and that means it's a little bit heavier, and I'm kind of trying to determine if I want to move to a feather or stay with what I've got.
That's the biggest thing is like, oh wait, I can like let go of my sword.
Oh my god. This is still.
I'm trying it next. We'll see.
I just don't have enough room in my hands. What the Yeah, I know, right? It's a rapier. Yeah, I don't think good. You got legs? Did I not get in on the... I couldn't tell. It was rattling. Probably did. No, I need to get out though.
So now I'm switching back to my normal sword, which is my Siga King, which I love. And I'm just kind of comparing the two. And there's definitely pros and cons for a blunt versus a feather, but it is noticeably heavier, which would mean it's better in the bind. But because I'm not as good at the bind yet, I think part of its potential is being wasted on me. So I think I'm going to get a feather so I can kind of switch them out and like use them depending on what I'm trying to do.
Wrap from the top. Okay. Yes. Ooh. It's fun. Where does it beat me?
Like if you have time to like mess around and yell, just like move around, it's kind of like mess with the other person. It's like,
It's usually just. You got that first one. You kind of slid through. It was very light. You definitely sliced the arm all the way through. Head, absolutely yours. You got me before I made my second cut. Okay. I think you got my hand.
yeah.
That thing's fun. It is. How do you think it feels on the weight? A little bit heavier than I'm used to. Do you think it makes a difference? I think it does, but I think it's mostly just getting used to it. Yeah. That thing was cheating.
It's always going to be trade-offs, right?
Yeah.
Because that has way more bind presence.
I think the problem is I'm not good in the bind, so I'm kind of wasting its potential.
Probably why I like Regainiers so much. They're just fast.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Flat. It's all flat.
No, it wasn't. I saw it.
Crush the chest, man. That was all yours.
Was it too hard?
No, it was perfect. Yours. Planted.
I thought it was a guard.
I tried to switch and it caught my wrist.
Here. Yep.
Very nice.
I didn't chase it. Yeah, yours. Okay. That was a good one. You got it. You know that was the first one.
Sorry for the follow-up.
Huh? Sorry about the follow-up. I didn't acknowledge until afterwards.
Such a polite.
David in a nutshell.
There's like an apology after every exchange.
Basically Canadian.
You may have caught hands, I'm not sure what quality.
That was all. You wouldn't have stopped. That was a double.
Gotta use that long ass crossguard.
Trying to. I'm not good yet. Cup touch weird places.
We did squats before and I was like, nope.
Yes. You got through too.
Very light.
I didn't get that one. Let's go. It was like readily available. I was like, I like the way that looks. I want all the longer
I missed. I think so.
Really light.
I was gonna do something dumb.
Clark was the only person who didn't like the short one. It messed up his game.
Because you're gonna kill me. Stay back. Maybe. Probably.
That was okay.
What? Super light. I know, it's really light. I missed.
Clark can hit flat with more speed and accuracy.
Did you get me? Did you get me?
It was flat.
So light.
I couldn't pull it out. I was advancing too fast.
Well, I pulled it because I was like, I don't want to hit foot.
Yeah, and you can dodge the side. Yeah, where? Work through.
Yeah.
Not enough.
You're not quite as dominating as you used to.
I am really missing my extra freezes.
I feel a little bit safer. In anybody else's hands, I'd just be dead. But for you, it's a detriment. You're so efficient at your.
Flat.
I think the other thing that's happening is usually you lock me out. Couldn't tell. Did anyone get there? Okay.
I don't think my drop afterwards was very good though.
It kind of sort of touched inside my arm, but not much. You get here?
Maybe I felt kind of plasticky, but I think it was overguard, so I don't know.
I felt a little bit, so maybe.
Ooh.
What I gave you.
Damn it, you're good. You're not kidding. I got big giggly thighs, right? I got plenty of space. Double.
No, that's the last one.
Almost fight too.
If we fight in July,
Look, I bet it was a topple somehow.
the Worlds for us is until like November, so it's usually like nationals, and then.
Thank you for sticking with this video. I know it's been long, but I think it's important to show all of the exchanges that take place. I don't really edit anything out in these videos. I'm showing you every exchange that we did because I think it's important for a number of different reasons. First of all, I don't claim to be any sort of master. I want you to know exactly where I am on my fencing journey because I think that's important. I think it's important that if I'm here telling you all of the sword information, you can see how good I actually am. And again, how good of a swordsman you are isn't like one-to-one how knowledgeable you are, but it certainly does help when you can practice what you preach, and I am practicing very hard. Now, of course, that doesn't mean I'm always winning, but I am definitely practicing. The other thing it does is it gives me, you know, footage to review so I can see what worked, what didn't work, and hopefully the audience can also watch that and see, you know, this is a kind of a technique that works, what did I do wrong, and we can kind of learn things together. And lastly, I think it's just super important for there to be more fencing footage on the internet because, like I said, there are a lot of videos about swords on the internet, but there are, you know, a pretty noticeable lack of videos where people use swords. And again, there are great content creators out there that are doing that. You just probably haven't heard of them. So, you know, I'm actually going to start talking about more of these channels because there's some great fencers out there who have channels that don't get the views that they deserve. So that'll be another aspect of this. Let's promote some other people that do some great fencing and show them off too. So tell me if you liked this video. I'd love to do more of these. And yeah, I guess I'll see you next time. Thank you so much to our supporters on YouTube memberships and on Patreon. Your support allows us to continue creating content like this. It helps me when I'm driving all over the place to go to the 4 or 5 different clubs I train at. It helps when we have to order stuff to make more videos with, and it helps, you know, to put food on the table. So really, your support is a huge deal. Thank you so much. And if you would like to support the channel and you're not already, please consider donating to us on YouTube memberships or on Patreon. There are links in the description. And I'll see you all in the next video.